I tried to do a little experiment aside. Well, I also screwed up my body clock. I didn't like sleep
You didn't wake up?
properly the night before. Yeah, another
Ah.
way of saying I didn't wake up. Yeah,
People came together to stop everything. There was people standing in front of tanks, fighting with soldiers as well. With all the bullets and the shooting and the bombings that was happening around the neighborhood.
because we have a brown passport or a Philippine passport. Other countries would be more, I think, not as welcoming as the Philippines might be welcoming for them to come here and work.
What scared us the most and what hurt us the most was when they started tear gassing.
Did you know that there's elbows and other?
Hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. But they figured they can't really travel the entire time anyway, so they need to have like a home base. Two guys, two worlds. This is the flip side. New episodes uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesday and Saturday. Now, here's your host, Jason and Noel.
Oh, sir, oral.
That's what I said, you nincompoop.
What's up, girlfriend?
What's up, guys? Welcome back. The flip side with Jay and Noel.
Boys and girls, not just guys.
Um, ladies and gentlemen, how are you?
What's going on, Jay?
What's up, man? How
What's
you
up?
doing, though?
Hey,
For real.
son.
Yo. Anyway, how was your day? How was your weekend?
It was fine. I was having a good sleep until somebody woke me up with like 10 missed calls. I didn't realize, does that ever happen to you? Like you're looking at your phone and then all of a sudden you have like 10, 20 missed calls, and then you look at it and you're like, why didn't I hear the phone ring? Oh,
Right.
it's on silent. It's not on silent. The physical button on the side. I was about to complain and say again that it usually turns itself off for some reason,
Yeah.
but it's not. It just really didn't ring.
Maybe the volume just wasn't up.
The volume is not up.
There you go.
See, so there's always like something going on. Either it's on silent, like on silent, silent, or it's on physical button silent, or the
Yeah.
button is the volume is not. Okay, let's move on.
Then move on. But there was one time I was so hammered, right? I think it was one of those Cinco de Mayos or whatever years ago. I went out. I think it was on a Thursday, and obviously I overslept. I didn't make it to work on Friday morning until later. And then when I woke up, I was supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock, and it was already like 1:30 in the afternoon. It
Mm.
was horrible. I had like 40 missed calls, like 20 emails from my boss, like, where the fuck are you?
Oh, you got some people caring about you.
No, because I missed a meeting. That's why.
That's so sweet.
It's not like he actually cared.
So there was a time I used to work at a radio station. I was also supposed to be at work this time at 5.
Right. 5 p.m.
Good question. That's the point of the story. 5
Ah,
a.m., right? So I was doing my thing and then I felt a little tired. I felt, okay, I'll go to sleep. I woke up and then I was like, oh shit, it's already like, like I missed the whole thing. Like if you wake up, if there's sun, like if I
yeah.
had work at 5 o'clock in the morning, if I wake up and there's sun, that's a terrible thing.
Plus, if you have to be at work at 5, I'm assuming you'd have to wake up at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, jeez.
What was that?
Totally forgot. Let's just cut it short to basically one time I woke up, I was getting all rushed up and ready to go. I got dressed. No, 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 no. I woke up at 5. No, like yeah, at 5, and then I think it was really dark already. So 5, I thought I was an hour late, 6 o'clock, getting ready to rush out of the house, and then I was like, why are there people outside? Like
Right.
a lot of people outside. Oh, it's 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my God, you missed it the whole day.
No, no, no. That means I just got home for the day before, slept, and then woke up at 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. People are going
Oh,
home.
so you took a nap.
It was still rush hour. It turns out I
Right.
took a nap, and that was like one of the first times that I felt like my body clock was really sort of all over the place.
Right.
But
Right.
it was
There,
such a mind fuck, because you were like, why are there people outside? Like, what's going on?
there was a one time too. I was going to Vegas. Um,
Oh, no, wait. One more thing. So I walk out of the gate, right? And I was like,
right.
I hope nobody knows. I hope I hope nobody
Kid,
knows that my
you're
work is at 5 o'clock
12 hours
in the
early.
morning. Yeah, and it just felt so horrible for my like it was so like deep shame that like I hope it
Well,
felt like going outside of the house with my zipper open. That's
right,
what.
right.
But nobody knew that my work is at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this was like way
But
back in the day.
at least you would have been early. I mean, granted, 12 hours early, but still early.
Just point that I was trying to get at is I think this was not even the time of call center days, or it was just
Right,
like the time that call center was sort of rising, and then like now it's like 24/7, right? Like you be out of the house anytime, and you just say, oh, I'm on my way to work, and nobody would think that it's weird.
right, right,
But before, I was like fresh and ready to go. I was showered and everything, and got
right.
out of the house, and I was like, how come there's a lot of
What
people
the
outside?
hell?
Usually when I run out of the house, it's still foggy or really cold, and nobody's like, falling in line for the jeepneys and stuff. So anyway,
Right,
that
right.
was in Baguio. You were saying something else? Sorry.
Ah, no. I had a similar situation. I was on my way to Vegas, but I did the same thing. I got home from work. I was supposed to have um a 6 a.m. flight, right?
Mm.
I got home from work. I took a nap. Woke up. It was like 5:30, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like rushing. Luckily, I only lived like 10 minutes from the airport, but I was rushing. I was running, going crazy. And when I got there, I was trying to check in. They wouldn't let me check in. And this was on a Thursday. Thursday. The guy at the security goes, "Sir, your flight's not until Saturday."
What happened? Wait,
I
you
was,
that did you say that was a Thursday?
yeah, that was a Thursday morning, and I thought
You
for
got
some
the
odd reason I
you
was
got the dates
thinking
wrong. Yeah.
I had the date that I was leaving on Friday because I was telling all my friends we were meeting on Friday, at the airport, but I bought my ticket for a Saturday without
Yeah.
knowing. I didn't realize, so I looked like a dumbass,
Oh, it was your mistake. You thought that you bought the ticket
for Friday.
for a Friday. Oh,
Correct.
wow. So the problem started way before you
Way
even
before,
you even
yeah. So
realized.
I had to buy another ticket for that day, basically, for Friday, because everybody was in Vegas already, or everybody was on their way there on a Friday. Yeah. So I had to get some kind of credit for the ticket that I already had, and then I had to buy new tickets for Friday, which was sucked. But
An earlier one. Otherwise, everybody would be going home on Saturday already.
well, no, we were supposed to only be there for 2 days: Friday, Saturday, go home Sunday. You know, but
And
whatever. That was a waste.
I know somebody that would reply and say something like, "If you came on Thursday and you were wrong, like I'm trying to check in a day before. What's wrong with that? Tatanong lang eh. Like, dito naman ako naman maaga na Thursday. Dapat
Uh,
Friday na
at least
Like,
you can do that there. Here, you can't even play it off. If you screw up like that, you screwed up. No questions asked.
There was a time after my radio gig. What happened? What happened? So I screwed up the days. There's another like really screwed up time story that I had. Like I'll just put that aside. I'm sure there are other things that you wanted to talk about aside from us screwing up the
Either
time.
or, it doesn't matter. What happened? What happened? By the way, what happened on Saturday? Did you go see KF or no?
Yeah, yeah. I tried to do a little experiment aside. Well, I also screwed up my body clock. I didn't like sleep
You didn't wake up?
properly the night before. Yeah, another
Ah,
way of saying I didn't wake up. But technically, I didn't want to, I mean, realistically, I didn't want to be driving on the road half asleep,
Right.
daydreaming while I'm on the motorcycle, that kind of thing. So it
Right.
takes a couple of hours to get there. Anyway, I also figured, nah, let's not push it. Let's see what happens if I go there late.
Okay.
And it was one of the first times. No, I think I've done it a couple of times already before, but this time, visibly, he was like,
Where were you, Dad?
are you upset? Like,
Dad.
what's going on? Like, is mom upset at you? Are you in trouble? Are you grounded? I was trying to figure it out. Like, the last thing that I thought would be at fault would be me, right? So it's
Right.
like,
Right. Well, did you tell him at least?
and finally I asked him, is it because I came in the afternoon? Were you waiting for me in the morning? Yeah. So I was like, "Aw, I'm touched.
Oh,
He was waiting for me, So that was nice.
was he hungry? Did you bring his chicken nuggets like he said last time?
Yeah, and the darn thing cost twice as much as the chicken. I'm gonna go back to the chicken next time, man. The nuggets are just twice as expensive as the one with the bones. It's the same thing. They're chicken, right?
What do you
Only
mean ones with the bones?
there's there's McDonald's chicken, which is like regular chicken wings.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Head up here. Back up. Back up. I got what the hell kind of menu does McDonald's have in the Philippines? There's chicken
Yeah, like fried chicken.
besides the McNuggets. There's
There,
chicken.
keep your pants on. Hold on.
The fuck?
There's Jollibee Chicken Joy, right?
Right?
Same exact thing. McDonald's chicken.
Really?
You mean to say you've never heard of McDonald's chicken, but you've heard of chicken,
No.
but you've heard of Chicken Joy?
Yes, of course. There's Chicken Joy in Jollibee, but in McDonald's, there's no chicken here. There's chicken nuggets, maybe a chicken sandwich,
Bro, there's
but
more to
there's no
life.
chicken with rice and whatnot.
There's more to life than chicken nuggets.
Well,
See,
I know that, but
so that's the difference. There's chicken nuggets. They probably just put the same chicken in a blender, like
right. That's just
grind,
gross, man.
grind it up and shape it into some form and say, "Hey, here, chicken nuggets. Oh, it looks like a bar of gold. Let's call it a nugget."
So
So
I just Googled it. McDo menu. Wow. What the heck? That's crazy. There's chicken.
there's chicken,
Philippines menu, chicken.
yeah,
McDonald's menu with gravy.
right. And then there's a spicy and a regular version.
Really?
Right on.
Mer-
It's a little different from the Jollibee chicken joy.
But that's like a whole meal of like chicken though. But there's no rice. There's no rice.
Oh, there is. You can order with what? Can you imagine a McDonald's or any kind of meal in the Philippines without rice?
Yeah, that's true. There's spaghetti. Give me a break.
What do you?
Spaghetti at McDonald's?
Yeah.
You make it sound like it's a normal. Well, it is like a normal in the Philippines.
Here's the thing with
What?
hot dog and the sauce is sweet. Yeah,
What?
exactly. That's what's
That is
normal.
crazy.
That's what's normal here in the Philippines. It's a different palate.
No shit.
But you know what? The kids love it.
I'm sure they do.
And
For
if the
those
kid
of you guys listening and wondering, I'm
and
looking right now
the,
online.
these restaurateurs know what they're doing. These franchises know what they're doing in the sense that if the kids love it, the parents are going to love it because the
Yeah,
kids are
yeah.
eating.
So I'm looking at the Philippine McDonald's menu online right now. People, listen up. Big Mac menu, Big Mac meal, full meal with the fries and drinks in Manila right now. 2023 menu. First of all, it's not number one in the menu in the Philippines. It's actually number 10. Like, for the value meals, you can say number one. Here, it's the Big Mac meal. In the Philippines, it's 10. That's crazy. Big Mac is the staple of McDonald's. But anyway, 210 pesos for the meal. Right? That's about right.
Right about
That's
thereabouts. Yeah.
$3.81. $3.81. Dirt cheap. What the hell? I
Yeah,
am boggled by it.
yeah, but I don't know if their processes or their ingredients are any different from there to here. But
Who gives a shit? It's a Big Mac meal with fries and
no.
Coke.
Doesn't taste the same. Doesn't taste
Well,
the
I'm
same. That's
sure
the
it
thing.
doesn't.
That's so when I came back, that's the only thing that I would order all the time, that kind of thing, because that's what I was used to.
Right.
And eventually I gave in and I was like, nah, I'll try the chicken and stuff, because it was just like not eating paper, but it just didn't.
Right.
The lettuce was like too little, like somebody with chopsticks put the lettuce on the bread. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like a big scoop that they put on the bread of lettuce, and you know,
Well,
like
it's always like that though. It doesn't matter what franchise or fast food it is, like KFC or McDonald's or Burger King or Subway. The ingredients most of the time changes if it's in a different country because it changes to adapt to the flavor of that country, right? But
yeah.
still, my point is, it's 210 pesos for a Big Mac meal or a quarter pounder meal. That's less than $4. Do you know how much it is for a Big Mac meal here? Almost
Eight,
$9.
9, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
but that's the thing. It's also it's not really fair to like compare prices like that, because you're also earning in dollars. Here, if we start
Yeah, but
talking
no,
about
it's still pretty expensive here.
we start talking about minimum wage and how much you earn and that kind of thing, you know, McDonald's is not it's a, I guess you can say the fast food chains are sort of quote unquote sort of reasonable for or average wage earners.
Right.
But you know, like I said, it's depends on it. It'd be awesome if you're like from another country, you're a foreigner, your passport
Yeah, that's
bro.
true. I forgot.
You know, you come
My
here
bad.
and then you order McDonald's meal and it's like, oh, it's dirt cheap and blah 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 and that kind of thing. But
Right, right. But that's crazy how they even have spaghetti. I mean, I'm looking at the menu right now. There's spaghetti. There's a family meal for four for only 700 pesos. That's pretty cheap with chicken nuggets, fries, a couple of burgers, and drinks. Wow, dirt cheap. Crazy. I'm so excited for you guys.
you're reminding me of the way you're saying pesos right now. You're reminding me of a theater mentor that I had before,
Right.
Ben Cervantes. You know, he'd hear like you know you know what lupang hinirang is?
No.
Didn't think so. Um,
What the
National Anthem of the Philippines. That's the name, Lupang Hinirang.
That's what it's called?
What else would it be called? National Anthem of the Philippines.
No. I thought it was like bayang something. Bayang.
Right, Bayang Magiliub. That's just
Right.
that's the first line. But
Ah.
the song, Iho, the song Kapatid, is actually Lupang Hinirang. But it's just so endearing to remember this guy because so we, you know, I'd see him watching TV one time, and then or he'd go to, he was telling me that he'd go to movie theaters, he'd hear Lupang Hinirang, National Anthem of the Philippines, and then there's some versions of the song. Oh, is it Lupang Hinirang? Oh,
See?
there, no,
You
no,
don't
no,
even know it.
no. It's tied up to pesos, so pesos. So he'd get really annoyed when he hear the word pesos, and then he'd get really annoyed when he hear the word perlas ng silanganan. There's a line there, like a pearl of the Orient, perlas ng
Yeah.
silanganan.
Yeah.
It's like perlas. It's not perlas. It's perlas. You're Filipino. Say it properly. It's the Filipino. So it's like he'd be okay with people speaking in English, but if there are Filipino words that are meant to be said, like perlas and pesos, say it
Right.
properly. Don't like perlas ng silanganan and pesos. get, get really annoyed and throw shit at the TV for like, you're saying it wrong. Like, so
That's funny.
sorry, my ADHD brain
No,
probably
you're
went
fine.
all over
You're
the
fine.
place there. But yeah, you were saying it's the pesos, the prices for the
No,
McDonald's meal that you were complaining about.
yeah, it's just it's really cheap. I mean, I know I'm sounding like a jerk here probably because I am making dollars as opposed to pesos, but it's really, really cheap. I'm looking at the menu. It's supposed to be a 2023 McDonald's menu,
Mm,
and they sell boba tea at McDonald's,
mm. Yeah,
milk
milk tea
tea.
is a big
Yeah,
thing here now. Yeah.
75 pesos. That's like $1.10 or whatever.
Right. That's good because the usual price is 150 here, 150 pesos,
Yeah, it's about $7 there, 6.95.
which is double the price. So with the fast food, it's half the price, but it's equally good, which is crazy. It's just
Right.
I
Mac
guess you're
spaghetti.
I think you're paying for the ambiance or the environment.
Ambiance. Oh,
Yeah.
for McDonald's?
Yeah, yeah, because it's not as like there's no Wi-Fi, there's no like plants on the window seals and there's no wooden
There's no
chair.
Wi-Fi at McDonald's?
None. You're talking like it's supposed to be a normal thing. Is that normal
It
there?
is. Yes. You can go to any fast food chain and it's free Wi-Fi
Oh,
everywhere. McDonald's. Even at
not
the plaza, it's free Wi-Fi.
not here. Not here.
There's a lot of like hotspots now here, like free Wi-Fi.
How about there's Starlink now here in the Philippines. I just heard on the news the other day.
Starlink?
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
Elon Musk, Tesla,
Oh, yeah.
worldwide internet. But no, no, wait,
Sorry.
wait. Let's go back to McDonald's. How about with the Wi-Fi? What about Starbucks? Do you guys have Wi-Fi at Starbucks?
Yeah. Every coffee shop in this country has Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, that's why it's called the flip side. We're both Filipinos, but we have two different experiences in the
You
different
can go
sides
to
of
the
the world.
grocery store and there's Wi-Fi.
No, here they have like it's like the coffee chains here like talk to each other. Okay, I'm gonna have
Right.
Wi-Fi and you're not gonna have Wi-Fi, so that they have
So
their
that we
own
get more people here and there.
right. So there's Starbucks and then there's everybody else, right?
Right. Is Starbucks like
Starbucks,
a big chain there or no? Like it is here?
it's huge.
Really?
It's huge. It's like a 7-Eleven here.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy
Like
huge.
it's like a neighborhood Starbucks everywhere. So in the Starbucks, as far as I understand, or my Starbucks experience, nobody has Wi-Fi. Nobody at Starbucks has Wi-Fi. And
Really?
and then there's no sockets for your cell phone and laptop. None. And then there's everybody else.
Wow. The
Everybody else.
flip side of that here, if you go to Starbucks here or really any kind of coffee shop, every table has an actual USB plug.
Right. Right. That's what I was thinking. So let me finish my story.
Sorry.
There's Starbucks and Wi-Fi and plugs and everything else for everybody.
Right.
Starbucks, none. That's it.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Well,
It's like
that makes sense because it gives the local cafes a one up on Starbucks because no matter what, Starbucks will sell no matter what.
that's right.
Now these other small businesses, the small cafes, they won't sell as because they're not as popular. But them being able to offer things like Wi-Fi and whatnot, that's actually a good add-on. You know what I mean?
That's right. And we're talking about like not just everybody else, like Seattle's Best or other coffee chains that are also equally sort of popular. I'm talking
Right.
about like mom and pop,
Right, like
like
like regular cafes.
yeah, or like Tito Noel's coffee, like
Right.
really like hole in the wall house, and then like houses, and then they'd have Wi-Fi, and then they'd have sockets and everything complete, and then
Right.
the coffee is equally good, except they're not a franchise; they're a one-off in your neighborhood that nobody else knows about.
Popularity. That's what that is. It's the same thing as buying like a Louis Vuitton purse as opposed to a regular Coach purse.
But
You know what I mean?
maybe on the flip side, I guess Starbucks was considerate enough to say, okay, we won't put Wi-Fi
Right.
in our shops because so that you guys can have a one-up on us. But at the same time, maybe they thought maybe we don't want Wi-Fi because we don't like Jason and Noel hanging out here too long,
Exactly.
doing their podcasts
Right.
on our tables.
Right.
And
right.
I remember it was also a big deal about like taking video. I don't know if I think this happened to me like way before social media, but there was a time that I went to a Starbucks and like filming or taking pictures or video was not allowed in a Starbucks.
I mean, yeah, I think it's because it's a licensing issue, and a lot of the Starbucks here in the country actually do the same thing. Like if you
Mm.
notice in movies, in some movies like or TV shows when they go into a Starbucks,
Mm,
they purposely don't show the logos,
mm,
you know. Um, but you can tell it's a Starbucks.
That's
Yeah.
right. You're right about that. If you don't mind, I'll share something about licensing issues. There was a time, my first job at a call center, I
Right.
happened to be, I hope, I don't think there's a non-disclosure contract or anything like that. I happen to be working, I was a call center agent for a local call center here
Right.
whose client was eBay.
Oh,
And
really?
and then I was part of like the licensing, anyway, the people that took stuff down. So
What do you
uh
mean?
like if you put up a fake Nike, like that's what I wanted to say. So a lot of the thing that a lot of people didn't know about what do you call this kind of law again? Um Copyright, intellectual
Copyright
property
laws.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have your Nike, right? Or
Right.
Adidas or whatever brand you have,
Right.
and then you drew on it. Let's say you're an awesome artist, you drew on Nike. So now you're saying customized Nike shoe, blah blah blah. You know that you can't sell that. Technically, you can't sell that because you're putting Nike, and the brand name. But the fact that you drew on it and it's my Nike and I'm selling it.
Right.
It's technically not yours. It's still Nike's. You're still
Correct.
you're still using Nike's name, and Nike
Right.
says
They call
Nike.
that piggybacking here.
There you go. So we'll never use that term.
Right.
Uh, to take the listings down. Oh, because you're piggybacking off of Nike, but that's exactly what it was. It was not allowed. Even if it's yours because you bought the shoe, the shoe is technically yours, but the
Correct.
name Nike is not yours. So
Right.
you can't just put that on your title listing.
Right.
Yeah, so that was the name of our department, like listing policies or something like that. So I just thought that was interesting. It was I
That
felt
is
like
kind of interesting though. So you got to decide on which one stays on and which one stays. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I enjoyed the job because I felt like a lawyer.
Right. Right.
Just like what I was explaining to you now, I was like, oh, I know the law, you know.
Right. Right.
I just
Well, what was that? Just a contract work or what?
I just felt so smart. No, it was stay for as long as you can if you want to.
What happened?
I just got
Oh.
tired of I just got tired of it.
Okay.
Just got
Gotcha.
no, it was graveyard. I
Oh,
I
it's a
la-
late shift.
I lasted for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months, I think.
Wow.
And it was funny because there's call centers like really literally like across the street from my house. Like
Right.
real like high-rise buildings, and like a but so there's Las Piñas and then we have high-rise buildings here. But no, I didn't
Right.
choose to go to the one here. The one that the first call center that replied to me or that entertained my resume was in
Right.
Makati, which is like 45 minutes, an hour away. And
Wow.
I chose to do that. Like, so I'd take a bus to go to work, an hour, and then I'd fall asleep on the bus going back home. So I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is not working out. So
Most call center works are overnight over there, right? Because they have to adapt or stay afloat based on whatever country is the.
that's right.
That's crazy. That's
Majority, but
interesting.
there are some
Yeah.
lucky call centers that cater to well, there's also call centers for local businesses, like the local telecoms.
Right. Right.
But yeah, for the international ones or the ones that cater to Western clients, obviously, yeah, they cater to their time zone.
Right.
But there's also like the ones that cater to like Australian and like more friendlier time zones to the Philippines. Yeah,
Right.
it's all over the place. Yeah.
Right. Hey, where you live in Las Piñas, right?
Mm.
Where are you in relation to like EDSA?
Yeah, that's in Makati. So that's also about 30 minutes, 45 minutes away.
Well, no,
That's-
EDSA goes all the way to like Project 8 or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Are you further past it?
Uh,
Like where SM Mega Mall is, right? At
Right,
the end
yeah,
of EDSA practically towards Project 8.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to go past that?
Right. Okay. Let me try to draw you a map. So it's 45 minutes, 30 minutes north from where I am. And
Okay.
then from there, you turn right on EDSA, which is heading east or southeast. Yeah, it's heading east.
Okay.
And you'd hit Project 8 Quezon City first, and then SM North all the way at the end. So a little bit past halfway from there is Project 8 Quezon City that you're saying. But if you keep going east, all the way east,
How far is Green Hills from you?
about 45 minutes. So that's it. So that's where you start. So there's EDSA, the beginning of EDSA, let's say
Hold
where
on. SM is up north. Project 8 is north, right? EDSA goes down this way.
actually it curves like that. So it's actually goes east and then northeast.
I got it. Northeast. So you're towards north,
I'm all the way in the south.
all the way south.
So
So
I have
you
to-
actually pass like Marikina. No.
Dude, just pick up a map. It's
Dude,
hard to-
even, where am I gonna find a
have you heard
Google
of
Maps work over there?
does Google are you asking me if Google Maps works over here in the Philippines?
Yes.
You mean to say the whole global uh Google Earth project of Google Maps of Google has like this black spot, this black hole in the Philippines where they
So-
don't.
Here, put it on your Google Maps. I don't know if you have it on.
You know, I was
Like
on Google Earth looking at the Giza pyramids the other day.
yeah.
I could be taking like a walking tour on the Giza pyramids, and you're asking me if there's Google Maps in the Philippines. You're stressing
So-
me out. My armpits are sweating already.
So do you have it on Google Maps right now?
Yeah, and what country do you want me to be on?
And shut up, dude. So enter this address. Number 8 2nd Avenue, Cubao, Quezon City.
Wow. 8th Avenue.
Cubao, Quezon City.
Wow. There it is. What about it? Is
So-
that where you used to live before?
Yes. See that store with the Winston sign up top and the 5G sign?
You know that you could just share me your pin on,
don't know how
on
to
our
do that,
on
man.
our chat, right? Like share
don't know.
location, like on the left panel of the map somewhere, there's like a little thing there we can click share, copy the link, share, drop it, give it to me on the
Okay,
chat.
here. Share. Hold on. Relax. Jeez.
Ay,
I'm down, man.
ano ba yan?
Remember, I'm old.
Nakaka-stress. Hey, while you try to figure that out, old
I
man,
did. I just sent it to you. Stop it. You're making me look like an idiot.
I'll open it. Just give me a second before I forget.
Okay, go ahead.
Something
Go
I
ahead.
wrote on my trusty handy dandy notebook here with my paper and pen. We were talking about food a while ago. Just a quick thing that I wanted to share before. We were at the province recently doing this video thing, blah, blah, blah. And we want to say thank you to the people that were on camera with us, right?
Right.
And so we do like our little, a little gathering where we all eat and celebrate and, job well done. Yay.
Right.
Good project, that kind of thing. Interesting enough, the people that we were working with happen to be living like near the coastal areas. And
What's your point?
they don't have a problem with food. These people that were impoverished, they're poor families, right? We were working with informal settlers, squatters, that kind of thing.
Right.
They didn't really have a problem with food. And then when we try to figure out how are we going to make this celebration, what kind of thing do you want to eat? Believe it or not, they wanted to eat. They were really happy. Their eyes would light up when we would eat fast food, McDonald's, Jollibee, that kind of thing.
Oh, really?
That we would bring to them. That was their celebratory. We don't have to cook today. Kids get to eat kind of food.
Right,
when
right.
we would bring like a buffet or a feast or like restaurant food, not interested. They wanted Chicken Joy or McDonald's or spaghetti.
Huh.
It
That's
was
kind of cool, though.
it was just a mind switch or mind flip that like what? Like and then for us, we'd like, what? You Jollibee again or McDonald's again? Like we would be
Right.
but for them it wasn't an everyday weekly thing. For them, it was like a maybe once a month thing. But but
But that's always the case to a lot of people over there, though. You know what I mean?
but like they'd have like fresh fish, fresh vegetables. And then for us, we'd be like, wow, it's tinapa or fish or vegetables. So we
Right, right.
we'd think that they would be setting up like a feast for us, like fresh food, and they'd cook, and but for them it's like something that they eat every day. you know, for them it's the fast food, the Jollibee, the Chowking, the McDonald's that was like so rare to them. So it was just a
Is Chowking considered fast food?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. And then here was just saying that it's expensive for them. These fast foods were okay. So are we looking at the pin where the red pin is at?
What red pin? Oh, the one that I sent you?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
sorry.
should come up to a street, Second Avenue, right in front of the
Hold on.
you'll see a store
I'm sure you're
with
gonna.
a Winston sign up top and then
Yeah,
5G sign.
yeah,
You see
yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm sure you're familiar with Street View, right?
I am on Street View.
Okay, I thought I was gonna wow you again by showing you
Jesus
the.
Christ. I'm actually look. How am I able to describe what I'm looking at to you if I'm not on Street View?
There's a picture. The picture that you sent me has the Winston sign on it.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't know that. No, I'm on the Street View,
Okay, okay. Anyway, we're there. There's a
and then
motorcycle in front. There's a Changge in front. You know
yeah, where that's the house. That's our house. That's where
what?
I grew up, Second Avenue.
Wow.
That store. I mean, it didn't look like that. It looked a lot better. That's for damn sure.
Is this where
But
you
that
had
store was my dad's family's old store. Both of those right there. That used to be one big one.
let's put this in the show notes. Um, for everybody else that's interested in this link that we're talking about. So Jason here just shared with me the link to his old house. When did you live here? 90s?
Yeah, basically 76 through 91.
Oh wow, this is where you grew up.
Yeah.
So so when you came over to visit and you had that drinking experience, was this the neighborhood?
No, 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 no. This was in
If
down the street further down. Actually further up towards
uh
Crame.
galing.
Yeah,
Nice.
but this
Yeah.
is all of this was like all new. You know what I mean? This looks so much more crowded now. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. That's how it is here in my dad's house also. We were like one of the first houses in this subdivision. It was like practically like a not gubat or rice field, but it was empty. It was like the only house that you'd see
Right.
in the subdivision. What did this area look like before? Was it
Honestly, there were barely any of these stores here.
yeah,
It
of
The
course.
street wasn't fixed up like this, that's for sure.
Mm-mm.
So if you drag it towards the right and you're looking at the end of the street where the blue building is, the blue and white building,
Mm-mm.
that's Camp Crame. That's Crame, the camp.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is.
And
Right.
then you see there's that 7-Eleven sign on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be like squatter areas. That's where we had um that drinking thing when I was home. You
Uh
see all those motorcycles or
yeah.
tricycles that's up there?
Those wires on that electricity pole look, complicated.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was living there, there's no wires going across. Before it was just all on the side. There was no wires whatsoever on the going across. Especially on that light post next to my house there. That used to be that's where we built a basketball hoop
Mm.
and play with flip-flops on and gravel ground.
Mm.
Man, back in the days. This is crazy looking at this.
Yeah, it's amazing being able to just walk around and do that, right?
Right.
I've
I
been
mean, it
on
feels
this
like
I've been on this road Boni Serrano several times.
what Bonnie Serrano?
This main road that you pointed me to with the wall of Crame. So this
That's
is
not Bonnie Serrano.
it is, bro.
Oh,
Where the 7-Eleven is. So it's on the
yeah.
yeah, it's on the corner of Boni Serrano and Second Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Right. So your street is Second Avenue. The main
Right.
road nearest to that is Boni Serrano. It's quite it's a it's a major intersection in EDSA. So it's like if somebody asks you where are you in EDSA, oh, I'm Boni Serrano, Crame. So that's a
That's like the okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because the first name of EDSA before, or it used to be called Kilometer 54 back in the when the Americans were here, I think, because it's like 54 kilometers.
Right.
And then, so when the Americans left, they changed it to EDSA, which is Epifanio de los Santos something Avenue, like that, which is what
This
EDSA means.
this road that you said, it's used to be called Santolan.
Oh, was it? Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right. Or it
I
maybe,
remember that.
yeah, no, no, no.
Gate 2. That's the gate. Wow.
I think Santolan it's still called Santolan, but that area is called Santolan. Maybe not the street,
No, it
but
used to be the street name. I know that for a fact.
okay. Okay, because
But
I also still hear Santolan, but I think they refer to it as the area or the barangay or the district or
right.
the yeah, the locality. Santolan is still used, but to be more specific, people use Boni Serrano also.
I got it. So, how far is this in relation to your house?
Oh, yeah, 45 about an hour, 45 minutes away, an hour.
Wow.
I'd say about 20, 30 kilometers.
Right.
I don't know how that is in miles, but
So, from that house, from our house, I know we turn left on Boni Sarano,
right.
and then to go to Project 8 to my mom's house, I would turn left on EDSA.
Okay, to go to my place, you turn right on EDSA and go all the way south.
Okay. So
Because
that's what I'm saying. You're past like Makati, Green Hills, um, San
yeah,
Juan.
yeah, way past,
Wow.
way past. So the major areas or the big cities in Metro Manila is yeah. So you're in Quezon City right now, and then you'd hit those ones that you said, San Juan, blah 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 blah, and then there's Makati, and then
Right.
From Makati, that would be like the main area, right? And then
Right.
you'd start be going quote unquote south. We don't have like a north or a east or a west place here, but we have a south. So it's like, like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the south. So south means anywhere past Makati,
Ah, I see. I see.
which is Las Piñas, blah 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 blah. But and Santa Rosa and stuff like that. But we don't really have like an east place or a west place or a north place. But
Right.
there's a south.
that, that doesn't even make sense, but sure. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So it refers to south of Makati or south of everyone else.
Right. Yeah, it's just whoa, what happened to my speaker there? Am I coming out okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Um it's just funny looking at all of this now. It's I don't know if you remember during Ed's revolution and all that stuff and
Don't tell.
whatnot.
Were you there at the EDSA
Yeah,
Revolution? Yeah, it was just.
it happened right here. Gate
Oh,
2.
right. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's literally down the street from my house and we saw everything, you know?
Oh, yeah. What were you saying that you witnessed again? What were the stuff that happened to you?
Well, we saw well, first of all, we saw the camp being bombed with
Right,
the
right.
being gunned down with a helicopter over
Right.
our neighborhood and the bullets landing on us. Um,
Wow.
the tanks rolling through, people getting killed, yada 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 yada.
Right, right.
It
Wow.
it was a intense experience, you know.
Nice. Nice.
And
And
then
yeah,
what's that?
no, no, no. I was just saying like I was about to say like, oh, buti ka pa, or like I was about to say like but I guess that's the wrong response or the wrong expression for it. But that's
Yeah,
awesome that you were like right there. So how was that? How did that like translate in your
it
child
was what it
brain?
was one of the scariest things of my life, you know. I mean, somebody at that age witnessing somebody being killed, um, like it's no tomorrow. The camp being bombed,
Right.
military and I guess rebels maybe running up and down the streets. All we could do was literally hide and close the gates. Did you see the picture of that big thick gate at my old house?
Mm.
The reason that was built was because of what happened. You know?
Oh, like a fortress to keep you
Yeah,
guys.
kind
Yeah,
of to
yeah,
protect
yeah.
us inside.
Wow.
Um.
How old were you then?
Oh man, 10. I'd like
Wow.
to say I was 10. Yeah, like back then. Like if you look at that old gate that we have, that white gate. Well, obviously it used to be. Well, I think it's the same gate, but back then it was in better shape. You know, thicker, bigger type of thing. But if you looked up from that, if you're standing in the street, the helicopter was facing the camp and literally shooting it down, bombing it. Um, and then the bullet casings from the helicopter
Oh shit.
was
Wow.
falling all over the streets and whatnot. It was
You were get
insane.
you were getting rained on. That's interesting. It's funny.
Basically, yeah.
It's funny because when we talk about the EDSA Revolution here and that, that time when shit was going down like that, it's not really like emphasized or talked about that,
Right.
that bullets were flying in the air. It was really more about like people gathering and
Correct.
which is I guess the whole essence of the whole thing, but like the violent part is sort of like
Put aside. Yeah.
put aside, and the one that really sort of sticks out is the
Yeah.
the fact that
It,
people gather together and
right. That because really that's what happened, you know.
yeah,
People came together to stop everything.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there was people standing in front of tanks or fighting with soldiers as well and whatnot. With all the bullets and the shooting and the bombings that was happening around the neighborhood,
Mm.
what scared us the most and what hurt us the most was when they started tear gassing.
Oh, they had that too.
Yeah. So we were so close to the gate, I guess, that the tear gas smoke at one point was so strong that we had to just leave.
Oh wow. And so
Yeah.
this sort of caused the domino effect of you guys deciding to get out of the country.
No, that was by chance, you know. It was basically family got approved to come already, you know, after being petitioned years later.
And how long
And
did
it
it
just
take
so
for
happened.
how long did that take
For what? To get
for you?
petitioned?
Yeah, for you
As
guys.
far as I know, it took about 10 years.
Wow. So you guys
Yeah.
were in
Oh no,
line.
no, no. About 15 years.
Yeah, yeah. But the point is you guys were in line way before all this happened already.
Right. So what happened was my parents um it took the reason it took that long because my parents were already over 21 when they got petitioned.
Mm-mm-mm.
My grandfather actually served with the US military during World War II in the Philippines.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was actually part of the captives in the Bataan Death March.
Oh, interesting. His Lolo was
Yeah.
part of the Bataan Death March. Yeah, we were just talking about that Death March
Yeah.
the other day. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So he was part of that. I mean, he was in Philippine military, but
Mm.
since he was assisting with the American soldiers, he was actually part of the American military as well. So for him to come here, it took like 5 months. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
But as soon as they got here, they petitioned my dad and whatnot. But at that time, my parents were already over 21 years old. That being said, it took longer.
Mm-mm.
So he got approved 1990, I think, like
Mm.
after 15 years.
Mm-mm.
And then that automatically allowed his kids to come with him. So that was me, my siblings, and whatnot. Um, but it took a long time. He waited a long time for it, and then it just so happens that 1990 we got that letter from mail and said, "Oh, okay." And then 8 months later, we were out. August 3, 1991 is when I stepped into the U.S.
Oh, it was your first time ever?
No, 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 no. But it's when we migrated to the
Yeah.
U.S. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that was August 3rd. And then what sucked about that was I had to go back. I had to go to school 2 weeks later
Oh,
at
yes.
Westboro.
Oh, that's where we met.
Yeah,
And that was the time that we met. That's interesting.
because I was supposed to be a freshman in high school at El Camino, but they
Uh-uh.
held me back 1 year because the whole transferring
Yeah,
thing and
yeah.
all that stuff. So
Right.
I had to take 1 year or eighth grade in uh El Camino. I mean, sorry, Westboro.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool, man. That's nice finding out about, how our lives sort of intersected at that time. For
right.
me, just to share real quick, when I came back here, it was the opposite that happened to me. So when I moved back here from there, I came here, but they didn't move me back. Opposite happened. They moved me forward. Remember, I was
Right, you
talking
told me that.
the senior high school kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I had the same thing. It was like so now we're like we have the same experience where there's like just 2 week break, that we were robbed off of our summer vacation.
Heck yeah.
But hey,
That one
let's go.
sucked.
Let's go back to your Crame neighborhood real quick. I wanted to ask you, did it come to mind to become like a soldier or something because you were living so close to Crame? Your relatives
No,
was a
no.
soldier.
I mean, even though we lived in this house, so if you look at it, there's 3 windows on the top, right? That's one big house where my uncle lived up front. But if you go through the gate, there's actually 3 separate small apartments in the back.
Mm,
So we lived at the very back, at one of the small apartments.
mm,
We were just trying to figure out how to survive back then, because we were dirt poor. We were poor. Barely figure out where to get food. Um, Eating tuyo all the time because it's the cheapest thing. And
mm.
that leaf with I don't know, we picked it in the backyard. We eat it with fish sauce and then tuyo and rice. What leaf is that?
Not not oh gosh.
I can't pronounce it, but it starts with the letter G.
Not kangkong. Is it G?
No,
GG?
no.
Galunggong?
Yes, that one. That leaf.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it was all that. If you're looking at that neighborhood now, like it looks like it's kind of built in with all these stores. The roads look nice. The sidewalks are paved. Now that wasn't like that before, man. That's like
Mm,
gravel ground. Some areas maybe um fixed, like what do you call that? Uh, Cemented down and whatnot. And then
mm-mm.
none of these stores really. No. Even
Yeah.
right across where that's stored right there, no, none of that was there. There was barely any eateries around.
Aren't these establishments that's growing around that house? It's like a bunch of bacteria or mushrooms sort of like infesting the whole neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny though, but I do recognize some of the buildings from when I was a kid still there.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, I am downright surprised at the fact that some of those um buildings are still there. That's impressive.
There was just a quick side tangent here. I was looking at a little sort of ancient history kind of thing, that something about like a Moses' well or something like that, Moses or Abraham's well or something like that. And then
Right.
how, like some of the sites, like this holy sites or whatever you might call it, like in Egypt or anyway. So there's this well. It's supposedly like where Abraham got like water, something connected, it's like a biblical location.
Yeah.
And then so some like YouTubers went over there and tried to see what's going on with it, and they were surprised. The location is like an apartment building or a backyard or some of somebody, and it's supposedly you know Abraham's well. And then it turns out there's another well somewhere, so it's kind of confusing on which ones. But
So
it's
which one's the accurate one?
that's the thing. It could be both. And if they look at it like a deeper translation, there's like 7 wells. So out of these 7, like 2 or 3 of them are like sort of backyards or apartment complexes, or
Hmm.
like it's just how time sort of just creeps on over these important locations.
Yeah, and adapts just like the pyramids in Giza, not in Giza, in Egypt. Yeah, they really the pyramids are right there. But if you turn around this way, it's like a giant. It
right
ruins everything, you know.
right next door to it. Uh,
Right, right, right.
and so
That's
that
funny.
Boni Serrano road corner
Yeah, right.
EDSA, I went on I kept going straight, right? I just recognized this intersection before. I remember getting caught here once or twice already for like entering like the bus lane. I was driving a private vehicle. I was following, I was in the
Bus lane.
middle of traffic. Yeah, there's like they have like different like schemes every now and then in this whole EDSA, right? Where they have
Right.
now there's also like a designated bicycle and motorcycle lane and that kind of thing. So basically, if you get on these lanes, especially on rush hour, they'll catch you for being on those lanes because only buses are supposed to be on the bus lane.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, they're traffic all they're traffic. They're trying all these traffic rules and regulations just to try to keep the traffic flowing on EDSA, apparently because also the buses are the ones that are keeping so much once they
So
stop.
much of the lanes and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
that's one of the things I think that's so wrong about. Well, of course, maybe they should be taking buses out of EDSA because that's where everybody passes. Maybe, but the other thing that's going on also here is that buses. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but buses and any kind of transportation here have no schedule. They
What?
run
They just run all the time?
They run all the time because they make money off of the passengers that they pick up. Probably like the rest of the world. But
Right.
first world countries, there's a schedule, whether there's passengers or not, they keep moving. They run on like on a fixed salary, a driver's salary.
Ah,
But here, if the wheels aren't turning or there are no passengers,
you're not making anything.
you're not making any money. So it's a totally different sort of business model slash salary scheme that they have for their employees. So they're running on different mindset when they're on the road. I've been scolded at by a couple of taxi drivers already. It's like, why are you telling me to move? Why are you telling me to
Right.
leave this? I'm causing traffic. Yes, but are you going to feed my family? So, he threw the finger up at me or try to come up to like punch me in the face for telling him to move or to get out of the way, like road rage,
Right. Right.
because he's trying to pick up a passenger. And if you're not feeding my family, shut the fuck up. It's basically what he's saying to me. So I was
I
like,
just sent you sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'm looking at it, but basically, I threw my hands up to say like, all right, go ahead, feed your family.
Right.
I don't want to
Right.
be punched in the face.
Which kind of makes sense, you know? You got to give it to him a little bit. Can you
Which
find me there?
are you? Wait, I'm automatically looking at the one with a circle. Are you?
No, somebody just put that there. I just copied and pasted it from that group chat with Wang in them. Hi, Wang. Haven't talked to you in a while.
So your bald head, all this hair sort of throws me off. I can't figure out who's who here.
So,
Hold
top
on.
row, red sleeves.
Ha. Got it.
This was, man, I don't know, grade 5 maybe or grade 4.
Yeah. Have you
That's
ever
crazy.
kept in touch with your teacher?
Yeah, most of them are dead, I think.
I had the strangest experience where I came well, first of all, like a stand-up comedian invited me, right? Like Mike there's this guy called Mike
Mike,
Unson. No,
okay.
there's this Filipino Chinese. I think he's Chinese. He looks Chinese.
Right.
Anyway, turns out we went to the same nursery school before. And
Nursery school.
yeah, like anyway, so and the stranger thing was, hey, our teacher, he invites me and says, come over, watch the show, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, I also invited our teacher before, teacher Olga. I was like, teacher Olga? I was like, just about
Wait,
to
wait,
say,
wait, 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 wait. From school?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
So he was still in touch with our nursery school teacher who was going to
Wow.
show up at one of his gigs. So of course I show up at his gig, not just for him, but because I wanted to catch up with my old nursery teacher. It was just
Right.
so, like, putting all of these parts of my your life together, right? Because I'm sure, like, you're from Crame and then you move to Virginia. Those are two different,
Big
well, not
time. Yeah.
not even Virginia, but like California. Um, not just different parts of the world, but like sort of like different segments of your brain or your personality,
Right.
right? Because they're all not in one seamless. It's like a
Which
step up.
it happens all the time though. I mean, that's normal, right?
Right. No, but what I'm saying is being able to put the two worlds together, like my present and then my past, like together. It's like, oh, you're now complete. My past and my present and my future all together in one. And then, like, I have like a little jolt in the matrix, like like where
Right, right.
two different timelines come together. So
It's pretty I feel left out though, you know? Like I said before. Like talking to those people, like people I went to elementary school with.
mm,
I guess it's because since I'm like in a different country,
mm.
it's just easier for me to talk this way. Um,
You mean left out because everybody's speaking in Tagalog?
well, not just that, but I think I'm being ostracized for the fact that I speak in English too much. You know
Are
what I
you
mean?
what about for living there? Are you ostracized for living there at
I
all?
wouldn't say I'm ostracized for living here. I think it's the fact that maybe the way I am communicating wise. Plus, I don't, I just feel left out. Parang, when everybody's talking in that group and they understand each other, their little jokes, their little,
Mm.
not
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
slangs here and there.
You're right.
And I don't understand most of it. So I feel kind of left out, which kind of sucks.
But
And
that's the
apparently they've had multiple reunions already.
let's not invite him. That's not going to understand what we're going to be talking about. No, I was kind of wondering how much you grew up, you know how to speak Tagalog, but now how much Tagalog do you not know? But you still
I
speak
know
it.
the basic. I mean, I speak Tagalog with you sometimes.
Oo, marunong ka pa rin mag-Tagalog, but
Marunong naman. Pero, it's just harder to speak in Tagalog. Katulad yan, I'm trying to speak Tagalog, but
uh,
sometimes
yeah.
my accent comes out. Sometimes the English still kicks in.
Yeah.
That, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I was just kind of thinking if it's the current Tagalog now, like there's like, I mean, there's still Tagalog, but maybe there's, but you like you were saying, it's the small things, it's the jokes on the side, it's
It's the slangs, it's the jokes.
the
I don't
slangs, yeah,
understand
yeah,
most of it. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
guess it's not that I don't understand most of it, but the
Mm.
fact that, um,
It's hard to relate.
yeah, I can't relate most of the time. So it makes me feel left out, right?
Well,
That's just what I'm saying.
That's why we have the flip side. Well, maybe
Correct.
we'll eventually get there to like, culturalize Jason to the way Philip. I don't know how that's going to
I'm
work out, but we'll see. Because I'm barely like if
it's
you,
it's starting to suck though. To be honest with you, since we started this and the whole communicating more with people in the Philippines, like that I went to school with. To be honest with you,
mm,
I'm feeling like the possibility of me being able to spend more time there is getting longer and longer and harder and harder. Do you know what I mean?
sorry, no, you lost me there. You mean it's more difficult?
Yeah, yeah, in a way, because if I feel like I'm running out of time,
Ah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because I'm 47.
Mm,
I'm turning 47 this year,
mm, mm, mm.
and I don't want to move out there when I'm like 60 years old and I can't run around. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. Are you thinking about moving, like uprooting and everything, or just take a vacation? Who said anything about living here?
I'd like to.
That's really what you have in mind, huh?
I mean, it'd be nice. Honestly, kahit na mag-retire ako dito, so per se, I retire. I
Mm,
my retirement is like $2,000 a month.
mm,
That's
mm, mm,
not
mm.
gonna be enough here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I only have 20 years left of working. two
Let, let,
thousand dollars will go a long way in the Philippines. That's for sure.
right. Yeah. Let me let that sink in a little bit more. But there's something else that's sort of tickling my head about all of that. Is it? Uh
100,000 pesos a month. That's a good for retiring, right? two thousand
yeah.
dollars. Like right now in my retirement, it shows that if I retire right now at this age, I should be taking home about 1,200, more or less. By the time in 20 years when I retire, should be around $2,000, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, if if you're like in a really comfortable nursing home, or if you're thinking about really expensive or uh modernized hospitals and everything, if that's kind of where we're going. But people, there are all sorts of living conditions here, man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I'm not gonna live, I'll tell you this much: if I do move there, I don't want to live in Manila. I don't want to live in
Yeah,
this city.
yeah, yeah,
I'd want to live to like maybe Davao or Boracay or you
yeah,
know
yeah,
somewhere close to the beach. It doesn't have to be Boracay. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's funny.
No, I don't want to live in Baguio.
It's funny because of our Flip Side podcast YouTube channel.
Right.
And sometimes I'm too lazy to switch accounts, right? Since we clicked on like, Passport Bros kind of content before when we started the channel, that's like the only thing that YouTube is recommending to me, because that's the only thing so I get a lot of this foreigner experiences in the Philippines and that kind of,
Right. I
and
get the same thing.
they talk about provinces and stuff that like half of them maybe I've been to, but most of it or a majority of it would I'd be like, wow, these are like exotic places that I've
Right.
never been to, but it's just around the corner. It's like a bus trip away.
Really?
And I mean, it could be like what I'm saying is like
Right. No, no, what you're saying. Yeah.
these foreigners know about these nooks and crannies that I've never been
Never
to.
been to. Yeah.
And here I am claiming to be a Filipino, but I barely know my neighborhood. I'm
Imagine coming from my side. You know what I mean? I am clueless.
but
What I remember are the little things,
but
that
here
that
here here
I
I
grew up with.
am. But here I am being like a mini expert at like the Giza pyramids, or the presidents of the United States. What do you Mount Rushmore?
But you can't even figure out what's an hour away from you.
Yeah, and I didn't realize there's also like the Aguinaldo house, for example, 45 minutes, an hour away from where I live now. Did you know that there's like a
In
Philippine?
Bonifacio?
No, no, no. Uh, no, no, no. There's Bonifacio, but there's also like where he lived, like where he grew up, like his family house. There's like an ancestral house of one of the presidents here before, or one of the national hero.
Aguinaldo. Yeah.
Aguinaldo, yeah, there's like an Aguinaldo house sort of nearby. It's a significant thing because if you look at one of the Philippine, I don't know how much, but there's like a famous house on one of the paper bills of the Philippine peso, where
Right.
the house that specific house where they put up the flag of the Philippines for the first time
Right.
is on the bill of that Philippine peso. I think it's the 100 pesos, I think. 100 or 1,000. One of those.
I don't know. I've never seen 1,000. No, I have seen that 1,000 pesos.
Point is that house is so significant enough that it's in a Philippine peso bill, and it's just like what 45 minutes away from.
And you didn't even know it was there.
So
That's so funny.
it's just the whole democratization of the of me.
Westernization is what you meant, probably.
Yeah, there's westernization, but the whole internet, how everything is so accessible, and we maybe tend to reach out to things that are
Right.
outside, where there are gems that are just near us.
Literally around the corner. Yeah.
And then yeah, but we kind of got lost in that topic where there's also the factor about language and culture that you were talking about.
Well,
So
it's it's a different application though when it comes to like the Philippines because there's so many different dialects over there.
well,
As
yeah,
opposed to be
that's
that's the
another
other thing
thing.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the biggest problems of like the two main dialects or language is Tagalog or Bisaya. You know,
Mm, mm.
Ilocano is actually where my family is. Um, like they're Ilocano in my side, but it's not as big as like being Bisaya. My wife is Bisaya because she lived in Siargao. So,
Ilocano ako nam.
wow, okay na dahil itong bingon.
I was gonna kasabot ka Ilocano?
Uh, a little bit, yeah. No, I can understand. Yes, a little bit.
And then kasabot is Bisaya.
I don't know, a little bit. It's still the same thing, yeah. But
It's
I can
funny.
understand Bisaya too a little bit.
It's funny. There was a time I was in Baguio. I was trying to speak Ilocano, and then I get my Ilocano confused with my Bisaya, and it's like, huh? It's like
Do you speak
kasabot
Bisaya?
because I lived a couple of years in Cebu,
Right.
so I picked up a few words here and there, but can't say
Uh,
enough to.
unsa man na?
Uh,
Naimas.
Wako kasabot. but yeah, so there's that whole language thing, and then on each language, this um if you notice the Bisaya videos of because the guys that we follow, Daot and Colas and
Right.
that kind of thing,
Right.
they're like in Bisaya, and then you notice that a lot of the Bisayas are very not just jolly, but they're jokes.
Broken?
They're no, they're jokesters. They like to like joke around
Oh well, yeah. That's
all,
typical for a lot of foreigners who try to
all the
communicate in the Philippines, though.
yeah, but yeah, there's so there's the culture overall, and then there's like a subculture or a sub thing that's going. I'm sure it's the
Right.
same thing everywhere, but I
If I could, real quick before I forget. Oh man, I forgot. I wanted to share this link of this couple that I found on TikTok.
oh
Um, they work remotely, right? American,
mm,
two white
mm,
people from Florida.
mm,
They work remotely so they can work anywhere.
mm,
They just moved to the Philippines like 5 months ago.
okay.
They've been to the Philippines a couple of times, um, and they decided, hey, I love it there. Let's
Yeah,
move.
I want to ask you more about that. But allow me to just segue to yeah, one of the new moto vloggers that I'm following.
Right.
I told you about this before. Yeah, there's a ride with Gabby, following him because of his whole depression thing and that kind of content also.
Right.
And I was sharing with you how he's not so like, like playing it up for the camera when he's like talking to camera. He's just like talking normally. But yeah, he's also not moving, but visiting the Philippines
Oh, really?
in his next series of videos. But yeah, tell me more about
Nice.
this couple.
I, f- I feel like it's kind of pointless to talk about it now since I can't remember their names. But they've always worked remotely for the past 5 years. They've been working remotely, right? Which
Mm,
allows them to travel, which is
mm,
great. Um, since then, they've been to the Philippines twice.
mm.
Twice or three times. I can't remember. But in any case, they literally decided um over the Christmas, no, Thanksgiving time.
At a snap of a finger, huh?
Hold on. During the summertime, basically at a snap of a finger, they looked at each other apparently and said, "What are we doing here? We could be
Mm,
living somewhere else because right now, even though they work from home, oh no, they were paying their bills on the table and then basically looked at each other and like, what are we doing here?
yeah.
With all the money that they're putting out and they're happier when they're traveling, but they figured they can't really travel the entire time anyway. So they need to have like a home base,
Mm-mm.
right? So they tried to decide what country they're going to move to, right? They decided on the Philippines. And this happened over Thanksgiving break where they moved to the Philippines just last year. And I'm sure it's going to pop up in my TikTok. I'll message it to you later. But it's quite interesting, because these are two fairly odd couple or people. They're fairly odd. They're very outspoken. They're tatted up like crazy, piercings everywhere. Um, but they just decided to move there just because. Well,
No, no, no. I just sent you something in case you wanted to go back to that to circle back to
yeah,
it. But yeah, no, no, no. Sorry, I got distracted with my own thing. But uh, yeah, about this couple. But on the side of that though, I can't help but think that it wouldn't be the same for Filipinos trying to do the same thing that they're doing, only because, and I could be wrong about this, but the way I understand it, only because of the fact that we have Philippine passports. I mentioned this to you before.
right. Well, I mean,
You,
obviously, if
you,
they're Filipino citizens, but if they're Americanized with or from a different country with a different passport or different citizenship,
yeah,
um, moving back to the Philippines and living there
yeah.
would be a similar situation, right?
No, no, no. What I mean is, if I had like a similar, let's say, lucrative job remotely online that I can do anywhere in the world, because I have a Philippine passport. And I'm sure Filipinos would disagree with me too, but the way I understand it, it's like because you have a Philippine passport, it's like the requirements are more stringent. And I guess it also depends on which country you want to move to. But
Right.
it's not like, like what you're saying, like this couple with with a blue passport, so to speak, the fact that they come here, just comparing that, if not to say that it's fair or unfair for Filipinos, but yeah, like again, same job, equally lucrative, but because we have a brown passport or a Philippine passport, other countries would be more, I think, not as welcoming as the Philippines might be welcoming for them to come here and work
Yeah.
remotely,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like a different and I don't know, it's, I guess that's just the way economics work, or rules of the country work. Just I'm just sour graping in a sense that, oh, that's just doable because they have a blue passport, or they have a.
Well, it could be not that as well. Like in the Philippines particular case, it could be different. One, for the most part, when a foreigner comes to the Philippines, particularly mainly for business, it brings jobs to Filipino citizens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's really not something to complain about them
Correct.
coming here. but I
Right.
guess it's the opportunity of the Filipinos outside.
That's the indifference because it's harder. It's
Yeah.
kind of it's really not fair if you think about it. Filipinos are so under valued all over, especially with their work, that it's I don't know what it is, but it's always harder for Filipinos to travel anywhere else in the country or in the world. You know?
Safe to say it's because of the other Filipinos that did, monkey business or hanky panky that
Yeah.
made
I
it
mean,
more stringent for the rest of us.
it sucks, you know? I mean, because, well, I can understand where everybody else is coming from, you know, because they're trying to find that opportunity
Yeah,
to make it better.
yeah. But again, part of sour graping, but at the same time, it's just basically me thinking like, good for them, but for us, it's not going to be that easy.
Right. Right.
Um,
Which it never is.
yeah, which
No.
makes me think, I wonder if there are other countries or other nationalities, other passports that have equal or the same difficulty as, Filipinos have.
No, I'm sure a lot of the Southeast Asian countries have a hard
Got it.
time. Vietnam,
Maybe,
well, it's more, yeah, like Hong Kong. It's not as hard for those people, to be honest with you. Chinese, Japanese. It's more
maybe.
like the really poorer countries.
Maybe. But I'm not like screaming racism or discrimination or anything like that. That's basically not what I'm saying. I think
Right.
I'm just sort of saying like uh maybe I don't know if there's jealousy or envy going there, but anyway, going back to this couple, I guess it's nice. It's nice that they chose to go to the Philippines. Maybe internet
Yeah,
is getting better and English speaking country also. Um
definitely. Definitely.
and hopefully that also means that it's safer, that it's not as sorry if there's construction in the background that you're hearing. I'm hearing it's really
Very
loud.
fun.
um but yeah, I guess that means that that probably also means that safety and the economy is picking up.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is definitely a good thing, you know.
But anything else that you
It's
wanted to add about that couple though?
maybe not right now, just because I need to there's no point to add on too much if I can't even remember their names, you know what I mean?
The name of the
But I wanted to
channel?
bring it up. Like, yeah, I'll find out and we'll talk about it in another episode. But actually, I had quite a number of things I wanted to talk about that I'm going to move to the next episode. You know, the bullet points that I sent you earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's not forget to talk about those things.
Yeah.
It's funny how there are things that we bring up and then they kind of, you know, get pushed around because of all the other stuff that we talk about in between.
But
Just
that's the
like
beauty of it, though. You know, that's the
just
beauty of it.
is it something that we want to bring up and like sort of open a can of worms about it, or we'll just bring it up as we go along in the future? I mean, do you want to give it like a little tease on the stuff that you want to talk about in the future?
Yeah. No, no, no. We'll talk about it on the next episode. That's for sure.
You're
Because
not
it's definitely something I want to talk about. I
you're
don't want to. The problem, our problem is, then you're fairly guilty of this too. When we start something and open something up, we tend to get carried away with it, right?
I I wanted to go back to this picture that I'm looking at.
Which picture?
The hair,
Oh God. Can you
the ba-
imagine though?
the
That's
bangs,
awesome.
the bangs.
I
Aside,
mean,
I'm curious. Aside from the EDSA Revolution experience that you had, during
right.
this time, what was this? Fourth grade, fifth grade?
Maybe fifth, maybe fourth. One of those two.
Any other experiences that you recall from being in this in this group photo here?
Well, when Ninoy was
No,
assassinated.
right, right. No, 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 but not outside, like within, like anything in the classroom about your teacher, your school itself,
Well,
your first crush, maybe.
see, that's funny. I was about to say that. So this picture came from somebody in the school that I actually had a crush on, you know. So
Uh,
when they posted this, we were talking about it, and they circled those two girls in the
okay.
second row.
Okay.
I'm not gonna name those names, but they're the ones I had a crush on. Those two, right? It's so funny. Um,
Gosh, it's crazy how photographs, capture a moment in time, right? Video that we have the opportunity to do that.
now, but I mean, I don't. If these people never shared any of this, I wouldn't have any of it. I don't have any pictures of my childhood. Nothing except for these little things at school. And there's other ones, you know.
Did it burn? Did they get left behind?
I don't.
Just just none. You weren't important enough to be taken pictures of.
Jeez, man. Way to kick somebody down. Wow. That one was
Didn't
that
mean
one
it
hurt a little
that
actually.
way. I didn't mean it that way, but it can be true.
It just turned out that way.
Is this a
You
public
know.
school or private school?
Yeah, it's public. It's Camp Crame
Camp
Elementary
Crame.
School.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. The reason I asked was because of the uniforms, but I,
Yeah, we had uniforms back then,
yeah, yeah,
but we couldn't afford it, so I had to wear that.
yeah. You look like a rascal with the hair.
Man, I mean, it's so freaking. Oh, I'm gonna hold on. I'm sending this to you.
Another picture.
Yeah, this is Wang.
Okay. Is Wang gonna be happy about you spreading her photos around the internet? Oh,
No, I'm
don't
not sending her a
don't
picture.
ask me to guess who she is on this picture on the group photo.
Oh no, no, she's not there.
Oh, she's not.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
she's
okay,
not.
okay, okay,
But the ones circled are the ones that I had a crush on.
okay,
That's I'm not gonna say their names.
okay,
I'm gonna,
okay. So
but
why'd you send me the picture of Wang?
oh, just to put a face in the picture.
Okay, but she's not in this group
No,
photo.
to put a face to the name that we were discussing before.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to relate it back to this photo. So Wang was your schoolmate, but not your batchmate,
Correct. Correct.
not your
She's a batchmate, but not like a. I
yeah.
don't know how to explain it. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah, not your classmate, but you're in the same grade, same age.
Right.
How did you guys manage to keep in touch? Maybe that's the question.
Facebook.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah, I
No
told you that.
no awkward experiences with that because I try to get in touch with a couple of my classmates and they were
Right.
happy to they were happy. Actually, the opposite also happened when I moved back here in the Philippines and a couple of years ago.
Right.
I also had like Westboro classmates. Anyway, I got in touch with
In the
them.
Philippines?
Yeah, that they're here, that they're actually here.
Really?
I don't know if I should mention names, but here I'm pretty sure you'll. Don't mention this name, because I don't know if people want to be mentioned online, right? But
Right.
I messaged you a name. Are you familiar with that name?
Hold on. Hold on.
Or I think I misspelled the last name wrong. No, 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 it's wrong again. Core. Anyway, are you familiar with that name?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
I think
Hold
he
on.
was he
I'm
was
sorry.
he was one of the popular kids in school. And anyway,
N-
so I find out that this guy,
Right.
which I forgot that is also Filipino, moved back to the Philippines. So I, reached out to him, said hi, hello. We caught up a little bit like on Messenger, but we didn't really like, hey, let's meet up because we were never really close to begin with.
Right.
I just knew him because he was one of the popular kids in school. I don't think he even really knew me, but he just knew me because we have a picture together, a grade 6 picture together. Grade 6, 7th grade.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Right. So he was one of the popular kids. He is here in the Philippines now in Quezon City, I think. if I'm not
For how
mistaken.
long?
For like 5-10 years already.
Really?
I'll show you. I'll share you his profile when I can. Remind me to. But point is, there was. I guess there was a little bit of awkwardness because even though we came from the same school, we could relate to a lot of things. We weren't really close friends to begin with,
Right.
so we didn't really catch up. Like maybe you and Wang caught up.
Right. Right.
So there was a little bit of awkwardness, maybe.
Hello, my princess.
Hello.
Myself, a little guest. A little guest. How are you? Say hi.
Hi,
Hi. What's your name?
I have no
You want to hear it? Hold on. Say hi, Noel.
Hi.
Hi, Jojo. Hi, Ari.
Tell him what's your name. What's your name?
What's your name?
Okay. Don't pull it. Hold on. Okay. Well, Dad has to get back to work. Come on.
Work that he doesn't get paid for,
I know, right?
like charity.
What are you doing? No. Dad's gotta do this. Later. I promise. You want to hear again? Okay. Don't touch the mic. Don't touch. Dad will do it. Okay. You ready? Yeah.
Hi.
Can you sing? Can you sing?
Did you tell him your name? Tell him your name. What's your name? You just licked my phone. You just licked it.
Drooling all over the microphone. Head,
All right.
shoulders, knees and toes. Also, couldn't help but head, shoulders. You know what?
Okay.
What?
Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. Sorry. Okay, go. No, that baby, please. Yeah. Okay, you can stay here, but you have to just sit here. Okay. All right. Just sit here.
So I knew about head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Right.
And then when I finally started listening to it, like on YouTube or what for whatever apps that the kids were listening to, I was blown away that there's elbow. Did you know that there's elbows and other
Heads, shoulders, knees, and toes.
exactly? Yeah, exactly.
What?
There's
Elbow.
There's an elbow there somewhere. Eyes and ears and mouth and
nose.
head, shoulders, knees, and
toes. There's no elbow.
there's an elbow. There's a song somewhere that has an elbow.
Elbow, nostril size, and something.
Maybe I'm getting confused, but I just didn't know that there was like a part 2 to the lyrics.
Yeah, no, I did not know that. That is so funny. No, you can't. You can't. You can't, Baba. No, later. Sorry.
You
Okay,
should get her another headset.
go ask Mama to give you a headset. Go. Tell Mama, where's my headset? Go. Ask Mama.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees
My
and
daughter
toes,
took
and
her
eyes
headset.
and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders.
shoulders, knees, and yeah, no, there's no elbows.
You're right. No elbow. I think I was imagining that there was an elbow, but point is the part that there's like another half of those lyrics would just kind of blew me away.
Yeah. Anywho, okay. I think we're done for today.
No
Right?
more no more shoulders, knees and toes.
No, I gotta figure that out later.
No side B to the record.
Yo, heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
Did you
No.
say knees and toast?
Yes. What?
Like
Tourette's.
butter with your toast?
Yeah. Whatever.
Ah, man, that was
Listen, but I do want to talk about what I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about that on the next episode of the flip side with Jay and Noel. All right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks again for watching, indulging us. I know this sucks,
Hold
but
on.
you know what? I don't care.
Just one more minute. I think I just want to wrap my head around. I feel like we opened a door and then we didn't go through it.
What are you talking about?
This guy, the name of the guy that we let's just like,
Oh, the Filipino guy.
yeah, let's just close our door behind that. I don't know if there's something else that we wanted to finish
So
saying about
first of
catching.
all, did you guys actually catch up or no?
No.
You said you did, yeah.
It kind of fizzled out, like he was going to open his restaurant or what, and I was going to go and visit or what. It just never sort of came around. And this was also the time of like Christmas, so he was busy with relatives and that kind of thing. But
Right.
not necessarily about him, but just like old friends in general, like childhood people that knew us before we started losing our hair, kind of friends.
Right. I don't really have a lot. Yeah. I mean, I do have some childhood friends from when I was living there, but everybody just, I guess, moved on. Even so, I caught up with an old friend of mine in Second Avenue that I grew up with, right?
Yeah.
And this just actually happened maybe a month ago.
Oh,
I
nice.
finally found him. I finally found him on Facebook, or he actually found me.
Nice.
And I heard a lot from him. Now we caught up here and there, but most of the kids that we hung out with seems like passed away.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. One being hit by a jeep, one just heart attack, old age, or whatever.
Right.
But in any case, everybody pretty much, he said, like, just drifted apart. Everybody. They don't
Yeah.
even, they barely hang out or see each other.
Well, of course, life happens. I guess what I was trying to get at is these are some of the gems that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
I think with what I was trying to say a while ago, how it sort of connects anything that gets to connect my childhood with my present, I guess, sort of. Don't you get a sense of feeling whole or feeling complete, for the lack of?
No, not really. I feel more, it makes me feel a little bit more like
Homesick,
I'm short in something,
lacking.
lacking. There's something missing. There's
Uh,
something lacking in it. Every time I get to talking to somebody from back home or from my childhood for that matter. I don't know. It just feels to me, it feels short. Parang feeling ko merong unfinished business ba.
right.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
honestly, just to be with full transparency with you, that's kind of like how I look at our friendship. I mean, we were good friends back then, but we drifted apart for God knows how long. All of a sudden, we're doing this.
it's
So in a
funny.
way,
Sorry. You and I weren't even Friendster friends, right? We weren't even multiply
no,
friends.
no. Although we did started messaging in Friendster, but we drifted apart again.
Or we were just
Or
too busy.
was it MySpace?
We were just too busy with our 20s,
Most likely. I mean,
right?
you were at the prime of your career back then in regards to, like, your radio career, your
Right.
acting.
Right.
Um, we've that's kind of like how I look at our particular friendship. It's like unfinished
Yeah.
business, so to speak.
Right.
I don't know
That's
if that's the
hey,
right way to look at it, though.
that's a title for a podcast,
What?
Unfinished Business with Jason and Noel.
Oh,
Or we could subtitle that from the flip side, Unfinished Business.
yeah. Well, we could blend it in one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but either way. I mean, we don't have to like close that door now, but I
I
guess
know, I know.
what I'm just saying for at least for the both of us is there's some kind of reaction. There's something going on. Something happens when you put, your childhood photos and memories and really old things that happened to you before you
It
woke up.
creates it kind of creates a gateway. Either something that's
Yeah.
good and nostalgic, or
Yeah.
like I said, in my particular case, I don't know about you, unfinished business.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of making me think a lot right now, to be honest with you.
And that's where we end today's podcast.
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen.
Anyway,
Catch you on the next episode.
we'll catch you in the next episode, guys. Thanks for watching.
Let that
or-
let that marinator simmer for
Yeah.
another
We'll
week.
catch you
or
in the
two.
next episode of The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. I'm Jay.
And Noel.
See you guys later.
Bitin.
Two guys, two worlds. This is The Flip Side. New episodes uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesday and Saturday.